food contributes only 30 to 50% on the causes of cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. Only 30 to 50%. Yeah, 50 being the maximum.
So the rest it could be maybe either...
So the rest, there is a whole lot of things that cause cancer that is not related to food.
Yeah. So we stop blaming food.
We stop blaming food.
Okay.
And another thing, that is one fact.
Yes.
Another fact is there are only 3 foods that has been, that is directly related to cancer, like causing cancer.
Okay.
And that is alcohol.
Okay. Okay. Too bad for you guys. Okay.
We have sugar. And then processed meat.
So hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. My name is Caren Nasimiyu, and remember, if you haven't subscribed, I think it's time to do so. Well, today we are going to talk about nutrition. What comes to your mind when you hear the word nutrition? Does it simply means to you like do not eat junk, or maybe there's a wider perspective to it? I'm here with 2 professionals, nutritionists. They're going to talk about what's required, maybe if you want to exercise, and the relationship between nutrition and other communicable diseases. And guess what? They're also going to talk about the relationship between nutrition and cancer, and also the misconceptions that come with nutrition. It's going to be a deep conversation, so stay tuned and please subscribe. Hey guys.
Hello.
Karibuni.
Asante sana.
And I hope you guys are fans, Misha subscriber.
Yeah. I'm Joseph Macau. You can as well call me Moisio. And I'm a nutritionist. Right now I have practiced for more than 4 years currently, working with different organizations. I've practiced in the hospital, and currently I'm in the private sector.
My name is Collins Kadiri, and I've been in this field of nutrition for the last 4 years. And I've worked in a number of organizations, both in the community and the clinical setting.
Guys, nutrition. When we're talking about nutrition, there's so many definitions that we know of nutrition. Maybe Macau, can you tell us what nutrition is?
Probably I'll give two simple definitions.
Yes.
One, scientifically, nutrition. In short, nutrition is the study of nutrients.
Okay.
And how they affect our body. 2, you may also define nutrition as a process of obtaining nutrients to your body for the purpose of health and growth. Probably the next question you'll ask me, what is a nutrient? Yeah,
I wanted to ask that. Thank you.
Now, a nutrient is any biochemical, molecule or atom or anything.
Okay, now speak English.
Okay.
Common wananchi.
Okay.
What
any
food.
Probably food. Let's say food. In this case, let's use the word food. Any food that you ingest, that is eating, for the purpose of growth, purpose of providing energy to your body. That is a nutrient. And we have 3 types of nutrients. The big ones, the macronutrients that the body needs in large amounts.
Yes.
We have the proteins that are responsible for growth.
Yeah.
We have carbohydrates, and then we have the fats. Both carbohydrates and fats are used to provide energy.
When we talk about nutrition, maybe some things that come to people's mind is exercise and obesity. And when we think of obesity, like as common knowledge, not nutritionist point of view, we think about diabetes. What is the relationship between nutrition and diabetes?
Basically, nutrition, as you are acquiring nutrients from the food, some people will tend to overdo. For example,
maybe you can tell us what obesity is.
Yeah, obesity basically is when you actually added more fats on your body than it is required. We have a certain level of fats that your body can work with.
Yes.
When you add more than what is required, some of the organs in your body now start functioning, let's say, not normal.
Oh.
Yeah. For example, if you take a lot of fats, and now the fats are deposited around your liver, you will now find out that the liver is incapable, or it's not doing its function as it is required. So nutrition comes in from that point.
So at what point does diabetes become a threat to your life?
Diabetes, basically, it is usually measured using what we call random blood sugar levels.
Yes.
When you take in a lot of fats, they are deposited maybe around your liver. So the liver now becomes in a position where it cannot release enough insulin, or the insulin that is being released is not working properly as required. So when that position actually comes into play, you will find that the blood sugar level of someone has really gone up. This person is supposed to have maybe, let's say, 7 millimoles per liter, and maybe now is having 11. So from there is where now we diagnose diabetes.
So maybe according to nutritionist, can it be managed?
Yeah, from our nutrition perspective, we do manage diabetes a lot using diet. Sometimes you can do exercise, and sometimes you do some medication also. So we use 3 methods of managing, depending on the severity of the condition. We advise people to begin with the diet part of it.
Okay.
Yes. We always tell people your plate, the way your plate should look like. That is, you should at least have a pot of carbohydrates, the brown ones. So if you are a fan of brown, maybe let's say white ugali or maybe white chapati, it will be time now for you to move to the brown ones. Then that one should constitute a quarter of your plate. When you go to proteins, it should also be a quarter. Then the vegetables now should be a half of your plate. So you begin from the diet first before you now move to exercise. And then if changes does not occur, is when you move now to medication.
Now the insulin injections.
Yes, the insulin injections.
I've had cases whereby people say diabetes is actually inherited. Is that true?
We have 2 types of diabetes. One is the inability of the liver to actually produce insulin.
Yes.
That is what we call diabetes type 1. Now that one, most of the time is inherited, and the only way we treat that is by use of insulin. Then we have the other one, what we call diabetes type 2 or diabetes mellitus. Now that one is a type of diabetes that is caused by lifestyles.
What can you tell us about the relationship between nutrition and cancer? Maybe you can first start telling us about what you understand by cancer.
Okay, first of all, cancer, just to use simple words, cancer is the abnormal growth and the cell division. You find that is the abnormal growth of body cells.
Yes.
Yeah. So they divide faster, and the DNA, the sequence of the DNA, the chromosomes, are not the same as normal cells.
Okay.
That is in short, that is cancer. That is what cancer is.
Yes.
The abnormal growth of body cells.
Yes.
And one thing I'll tell you, the relationship between cancer and nutrition. Karen, one thing people don't know. Food contributes only 30 to 50% on the causes of cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. Only 30 to 50%. Yeah, 50 being the maximum.
So the rest it could be maybe either...
So the rest, there is a whole lot of things that cause cancer that is not related to food.
Yeah. So we stop blaming food.
We stop blaming food.
Okay.
And another thing, that is one fact.
Yes.
Another fact is there are only 3 foods that has been, that is directly related to cancer, like causing cancer. Okay. And that is alcohol.
Okay. Okay. Too bad for you guys. Okay.
We have sugar, and then processed meat. Everybody knows about nutrition, but if you go to a dietitian or a nutritionist, they will tell you we give advice, nutrition advice, based on scientific research, based on facts, not just saying I've been taking, like the other day, there's with all due respect, Beth Mugo, was relating cancer and soya beans.
Okay.
She says she has been taking soya beans for close to 7 to 10 years.
Yes.
And she said at some point she concluded that soya beans causes cancer. But what she forgets is she has been eating other foods.
I swear.
Yes. How sure is she that it is soya bean that causes cancer? Yeah.
And does soya beans cause cancer?
As per now, there is no research. There is no research at all.
There's no conclusion that it actually causes
cancer, yeah. And probably the reason why people say there is a connection between soya bean and also breast cancer, it's because soya bean has a chemical called phytoestrogen, and estrogen is known to alleviate breast cancer.
Okay.
But I can tell you for free, there is no connection, there is no scientific, let me be so specific, there is no scientific connection between phytoestrogen and alleviation of breast cancer. Two types of vitamin A. You have retinol and beta-carotene. So, for example, you might take beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is just a chemical that resembles the real vitamin A. The vitamin A that we get from carrots, yeah. It's just like in terms of chemical structure.
It's like an imitation. Mama, that is too big.
Let's say, I'm not sure.
I'm a copy. It's like a copy.
Yeah, it's like a copy. Like, if you take the chemical structure, I'm sure you remember your chemistry kidogo. Kwa sababu ukiangalia tuseme kama water, let me take a very simple like water, you have hydrogen and oxygen.
Yes.
2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen.
Yeah.
So the same thing with all the nutrients, carbohydrates, amino acids, proteins, they also have chemical structures. And what normally happens with the nutrients, nutrition supplements, they study a chemical structure for a certain nutrient. Let's say, for example, vitamin C. They take vitamin C, they study the chemical structure, and then back at the lab, they prepare the exact. But you can, of course, you can tell it won't be as effective as a natural nutrient, but they work. They work. That's for sure. And as I was saying, most of these they have an effect called they become antioxidant. And antioxidant is any substance when taken when ingested, they help the body fight unwanted molecules. You say that, like oxidation. In the body there are a lot of chemical reactions that take place, and in the process there are molecules that are not wanted in the body that are produced. So antioxidants, they help do away with these molecules. Yeah. And
let me just understand it in the common Mandarin language. This antioxidants, they basically just like say it again in a common Mandarin language, maybe in English.
Okay, in short, when we have these processes in the body, these chemical processes, we have molecules that are produced as a result. Some of them are beneficial, some of them are not. And one of the processes that is not beneficial, it's called oxidation in the body. And so these antioxidants, they help prevent oxidation.
Yeah. Now
tumeelewa sasa. Yeah, now as I was saying, now with cancer, some of the treatments, to be specific, chemotherapy, some of the chemicals used, unfortunately, they produce a lot of oxidation. Like they use that process of oxidation to kill cancerous cells.
Okay.
So once you ingest these supplements, these nutrition supplements, they counter the effect of the chemicals that are used. What I'm saying, in short, it's not bad to take nutrition supplements, but make sure you consult your doctor, make sure you consult your dietitian before going to the supermarket or going to whichever place and buying these supplements. Because most of them affect the nutrition.
Macau, can you maybe tell us, are there maybe some certain kinds of food that you can take and they might reduce your risk of getting cancer?
First of all, the answer to that question, and not just cancer, any other disease.
Okay.
There's something as nutritionists we normally say, just take a balanced diet. And what is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is a diet that has carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals within the RDAs, the acceptable RDAs, the acceptable levels. So probably to be more specific on cancer, there are three types of food that I normally tell people to avoid. One, it is excessive alcohol. If you have to drink, I know sometimes it's hard to do away with alcohol, but if you have to drink, just do it with moderation. Two, if possible, avoid processed meat. Just completely. For me, I say completely. Processed meat include bacon, hot dogs.
That's so sad. Lovers of sausages like me.
I know. Okay. I know. So if
you have to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly. So your health is very, very important.
Yes.
So and instead of that, you can do lean meat, which is meat that has very little fat. You can do fish. You can do poultry, but sometimes we advise people to avoid the skin. I know the skin is the most sweetest. The skin is the most sweetest part of,
especially chicken skin.
Yeah. So, but we advise people to avoid, the skin. So another thing, avoid sugars, excess sugars. Not just sugars. I'm not saying you start taking tea without sugar. You start avoiding your favorite cakes. No, but you do it in moderation. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So to people who are already unfortunate and they have cancer, so sad. Maybe is there something, when it comes to nutrition, is there some kind of food they can eat which can maybe increase, I don't know how to frame this and be polite at the same time, increase their lifespan of life? I don't know how to, you get my point, yeah?
Yeah, I get your point. Get your point. First of all, you have to understand that there are cases in cancer that were curable. So, you've seen people who've had testimonies of people who are cured from cancer and they are cancer free.
Yes.
So I understand why you wanted to use, polite language.
Yes, I want to be polite.
It's not an automatic death. But in case you find yourself having cancer, one of the things that cancer patients need is, excess proteins.
Excess protein.
Yeah.
Okay.
To replace the cells.
The damaged cells.
The damaged cells. So, and in the process, we advise people to use lean meat, the one that I was taking.
Okay.
Avoid meat that has fat by all means. Yeah. So, and another thing is, I know if we look some 4 or 5 years ago, people are saying you avoid sugars. But in this case, currently, according to current research, what we say, you don't avoid sugars, you reduce. Because when people were new to cancer, they were saying that there was this myth. They were saying, cancer cells. It's true, cancer cells are very hungry. They are hungry cells, and they utilize twice as much as carbohydrates as normal cells, and their division takes 3 times, more than 3 times the normal cells. So what people were arguing is if you avoided sugars and everything, you will starve these cells and they will stop growing. But that was just
But now if you study, then they're going to find other means of feeding themselves.
That's the point. And another thing, there is no way you are going to avoid sugars, saying that I'm trying to starve cancer cells.
Yes.
At the same time, it's normal cells. Your normal cells need this sugar.
Yes.
So there is no way.
For your daily survival.
Exactly. So what we say these days, we don't avoid sugars. We reduce. Actually, personally, I have 2 cancer patients that are managing. And I know this will sound very controversial, what I advise them and what I give them is their normal RDA for carbohydrates, and they are doing perfect.
Just as you've been wrong.
Yeah, just normal RDAs, the recommended daily allowances. I don't tell them to avoid sugars at all. I don't tell them to, cut their carbohydrate diets. So when it comes to carbohydrates, just take your normal RDAs. When it comes to proteins, sometimes, and in most cases, depending on the state that you are in most cases we advise you increase your level of proteins. Try to avoid any processed carbohydrate.
Oh, you go for natural ones.
Yeah, go for natural
like
ones that are full, ngwashe. If it's maize, if it's possible, just take flour direct from the mill, the shaggy. I don't know what it's called in Kizungu. Yeah, avoid this polished one.
So guys, okay, most people have suffered, have struggled, let me use the word struggle, have struggled with their weight. Especially maybe if you've added certain amount of weight in a certain period and maybe you're struggling maybe to lose this fat. And you'd find them saying that I've been exercising, I've been running every morning, but nothing. Maybe what can you say to make exercise work? What can you recommend to make exercise work?
Yeah, thank you. I think there is a simple element that these people don't put in consideration, and maybe they tend to lie a lot on one side of this exercise and fail also to put in consideration the other side. For exercise to work well in weight cutting, you also have to put in consideration the diet. For example, if initially I was taking a diet, maybe I added, my body requires 100 grams per day, and I decided to take 200. And I said maybe I'll do exercise and they shed the 100 grams. It becomes difficult.
Yes.
You have first to check your diet. Then while working within the diet, you add on exercise, because exercise is supposed to help you shed the extra weight. So there is no way you will shed the extra weight while you are still adding more.
The same, we are taking back whatever you are trying to shed.
You are taking back whatever.
So one can't work with the other?
No, you have to actually find a way of going about the two.
So what's the best diet when you're exercising?
Yeah, the best diet, most of the time we use what we call the plate method to advise these people. You actually need to make sure all the time your carbohydrates does not go beyond a quarter of your plate. Yes.
So most of your food?
So if you are taking, let's say, the normal carbohydrates, maybe chapatis or etc., just make sure. We usually count them in servings, but for a layman, we usually use a plate, the size of a plate, because that one is easier to understand.
Yes.
So make sure the carbohydrate is quarter of the plate, then proteins, be it animal or plant protein, the other quarter, then the remaining half, you put a mixture of vegetables. So in cutting weight, number one, you should always make sure your vegetables are more, at least half of your plate.
The rest of the food.
Yeah. The importance of that is that these vegetables have what we call fiber. And now these fibers are important in binding on excess sugars. So that when your body is absorbing, it does not absorb excess sugars that it does not need. So you make sure you have enough fiber in your diet. And if you are taking the carbohydrates, to ensure, actually to enhance your body to bind on most of these sugars.
And what about water? What's the relationship of water with losing weight? Or is it a misconception as well?
We usually just advise you actually take 80 glasses of water per day just to make your digestion process to go on well.
Also, what water basically does is increase your rate of digestion?
Yeah, it actually makes your digestion to occur fast, so that we don't have a lot of food in the stomach always, which will actually increase the absorption of sugars to your blood.
Until we meet next time, I'm your girl, Caren Nasimiyu. Ciao.
I'm Joseph Makau.
I'm Caren Nasimiyu.